Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of So Tell Us Time. We're super excited to be here with you guys today, as we are each week. And boy, is it awesome to be, halfway almost through the first month of the new year, 2025. So awesome, so exciting. Time is flying already, let me tell you. And we've got big things in store. I know we've got big plans. I hope you guys have big plans. And I can tell you, if you don't have any, well, then take each week's episode and do the homework. Implement the things we talk about. That'll help you create your plan. But Troy and I have got some big things happening this year, and it is amazing. We will be sharing with you guys some of these things, and stay tuned. It's going to be a phenomenal 2025. So excited. So today we're talking about stay connected and stay successful. The importance of staying consistent with your client's communication, whether it's in sales or in support, and creating loyalty from existing customers, creating trust from potential customers. Staying consistent in your communication is so important. And so that's what we're actually going to be talking about today, and it can really change the game for your business. So Troy, let's dive right in.
Yeah. So why do you need consistent communication? Why does that matter in your business? Well, there was a recent study done by project.co, and they found that 66% of people stopped dealing with a company and moved on to a competitor due to poor business communication skills. So If you're not communicating with your customers, your clients, guess what? Your competitors are trying to communicate with your clients, right? They're doing Google ads. They're doing Facebook ads. They're spending marketing dollars to get to your clients and try to steal them away. So if you're not communicating with your clients consistently, you're basically just leaving the door open for your competitors to come in and take them away from you. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So why, again, this consistent communication matters because you need to be building trust with your clients, right? Mm-hmm. So basically having regular communication builds trust and credibility with those clients, especially if it's not a client that you are not, working with on a very consistent basis, or maybe you're not talking to them on a very consistent basis. You maybe service them. Let's say you're a carpet cleaner and you clean their carpets once every 6 months or once a year, right? That's not very consistent. That doesn't keep you top of mind, right, with them. So you need to make sure that in between those times that you're not having that face-to-face with them, that you are communicating with them and continuing to build that trust and credibility. So a great example of a brand that is just known for communication is Zappos. And we've talked about Zappos in the past and how great their customer service is. And it really is. It's amazing. But one of the things that they really do is they're very great with their communication, right? They are consistently reaching out to their clients, offering their clients new deals, new specials, even to the point where they send handwritten notes to clients, basically thanking them for being clients. So they have a ton of communication built in to make sure that people come back, that their clients are coming back to them to buy their next pair of shoes and their next pair of shoes and their shoes for their children and everything like that. So that's just a great example of like when once you get that client, you need to continually build trust with that client so that your competitor doesn't come in and take them away. The other thing is, again, staying top of mind, right? It's important to stay relevant to your clients over your competitors. So again, with the example of like a carpet cleaner, if you're only talking to that person once a year, well, that's 12 months or 11 and a half months a year that you're giving your competitor the chance to communicate with them and take them away from you, right? So making sure that you have communication in place to, make sure that they remember you and that they call you the next time they need those carpets cleaned. And again, if you're not communicating with your clients, you can bet that your competitors are doing everything in their power to communicate with them. Now, the other thing is by communicating with your clients, you can enhance their client experience, right? So proactive communication solves problems before they arise. And this is really important. Too often, the first time that we, hear from a client is when there's a problem and they want to cancel services, right? So that's the first time they reach out, is they've already made the decision. They're leaving your business. They're going with somebody else. And now you're trying to communicate with them, trying to save them from leaving your business. But that shouldn't be the first, or that shouldn't be the first time that you hear from them. And it shouldn't be the first time that you're communicating with them, right? If you have consistent communication with them over time, you're going to be able to address those issues before they become a problem, and they've, to the point that they're leaving your business and they're no longer a client. So it's really important to have that in place. Now, let's talk about some strategies for effective client communication. So number one strategy is personalization, right? You want to tailor your communication to the individual client if possible, right? So there's a couple of ways that you can do that. One is one-on-one messages, right? You're communicating directly with them. That's a very personalized communication. And that is a great way to communicate with your clients. But what you quickly realize as a business owner is that you don't have time to maybe communicate with every single client all the time. So it's important to have automated messages in place. And a great way to still personalize those automated messages is based on segmenting your lists, right? So you can segment your, in your CRM, like, okay, these clients have this service. So I'm going to be sending messaging to them based on the service that they've received. These clients have a different service. So I'm going to send a different message to them based on that. So you can segment out your clients, right? And then communicate with them rather than just sending blanket messaging to everybody, because it blanketed maybe doesn't feel as personalized. So for example, with our company, right, we have several different products. We have websites, we have Sotellus, we have lead management. So all of our clients are segmented so that we can send personal, messages towards the client based on the product they have with us. So that's a great way to create personalization, but still utilize automation. Another strategy you want to focus on is consistency across your channels. So not only should your message be consistent across email, social media, SMS, your YouTube channel, you want to have that consistency, but you also want to communicate through all of your channels, because people gravitate towards specific channels, right? So for example, if you have a chunk of your client base that spends a ton of their time on social media and they never check their email, well, if you're just sending them emails, you're not communicating with them because they never check it, right? Or if all of your communication is on social media, and you're not emailing and sending text messages to your clients, you're going to miss a big segment of clients that are not hanging out on social media, right? So it's important to make sure that you're utilizing your communication across all of your channels to reach all of your clients. The next thing is proactive updates. So this is really important. You want to keep your clients informed on new features, new products, new services, anything that's going on. With your company. It could also be, you could also proactively give them updates on anything that's going on in your industry, anything that's going on that is relevant to their business. So for example, let's say you are, a CPA, right? You could have a monthly newsletter that goes out that talks to them about what's going on with taxes, right? And what changes are happening in the tax world that you need to be thinking about as a business owner. I know, for example, my financial planner, every single month, I get a communication from him that basically tells me what's going on with the market right now. What's good, what's bad, what to look out for, right? So that's relevant communication and proactive communication with me that makes me every single month go, oh yeah, do I need to talk to my financial planner this month? Is there something that I need to change, right? So really important there. The other thing is regular check-ins are really important. So you really should create a schedule for check-ins with your clients. and then stick with that schedule. So for example, like with us, with our success coaches, we have a very rigid schedule that they are going to follow up with their clients, right? And like we have automated tasks that go out to them. They do account reviews. They reach out to the client, and they tell them what's going great in their account, what we need to work on to help them get more results. And it is a very rigid schedule so that we are regularly checking in with those clients and making sure that they're having great success. So again, automation is a great way to stick to that schedule. Another thing is, again, kind of adding on to that, is leverage technology. So there's literally probably no way for you to keep up with communication with all of your clients without utilizing technology. In fact, it was funny. We had a client a while back that they were trying to communicate and keep up with their clients. So they were sending individual text messages to all of their clients. And it was taking up about 10 hours a month to communicate with those clients via text message. And it was just like checking in with the client basically, but about 10 hours a month spent sending those individual text messages. We helped them put automation in place. Now it takes like less than 10 minutes a month for them to be able to reach out to every single one of their clients. And now instead of reaching out just once a month to their clients, they actually are able to reach out to their clients multiple times a month because of the automation in place. So you need to leverage technology to effectively communicate with your clients. All right. The next thing is, overcoming some common communication challenges, right? Because if it was easy, we'd all be doing it and we'd be doing it perfect every single time. But there are some potential barriers out there. And we've talked about a few of those already. One of them is lack of time, right? You just don't have time to communicate with your clients. Another one, and this is a very popular one, fear of over communicating with your clients. Yeah. And we've had this one ourselves. We're like, oh, we don't want to bother our clients. We don't want to communicate too much with them that they don't want to listen to us anymore, right? So there's that fear of over communicating. And then also managing your clients' expectations about communication, right? How do you manage that so that they're not expecting you to communicate every single day with them, or not communicate with them at all? So here's a couple of solutions to those. Again, we talked about having that communication calendar, setting up a calendar, setting up time to make sure that communication is going to happen by using that calendar. Automation, again, is another big solution to that, so that you're not, you don't have to worry about how much time it takes because it's automated and it's just going to happen immediately and automatically for you. And then the other thing is setting clear expectations of communication. And this is really important as well, because from the very beginning, if you set that clear expectation of communication, like we have our success coaches tell our clients right up front, this is when I'm going to follow up with you here, here, and here. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want to make sure that you are as successful as possible utilizing our system. So they have an expectation. They know that we're going to be reaching out and when we're going to be reaching out, so that we're not, it's not a bother or a surprise when we do reach out. And again, when it comes to that fear of over communicating, if you're afraid that you're over communicating, you're probably not communicating enough, honestly. We can communicate a lot more with our clients than we think we can. And by communicating with them, they're going to stay our clients a lot longer than if we are not communicating to them. In fact, it was actually interesting. Like Trevor always says, we always try to teach and preach what we do in our business. And so we've made our goal for 2025 is to be even better at communicating with our clients. Trevor, do you want to kind of share a little bit about what we're doing right now?
Yeah. So one of the things that we have been cranking, like on our products and our services, we have been cranking on features. We've been knocking things out like crazy. Our dev team is doing amazing. And the funniest part about it is that we've been so busy that we have not been good at announcing. We've not been good at communicating. So, like Troy said, we are literally doing the things that we're teaching you guys, right? And we've been in business for 25 years. So, we've had our ups and downs when it comes to the communication with our clients. Most recent years, we've struggled a little bit, not because we don't have anything to communicate, because we've been so busy and wearing so many hats and working so hard that we just haven't done a good job at actually communicating all the amazing things. And so one of the things that we do here at So Tell Us is we like to add features to our systems that we create for our customers that we don't even charge additional money for. So we create new features. We spend a lot of money on full-time in-house developers creating amazing upgrades to our systems and features to our systems that we then just roll out and give to our customers at no additional cost. Now, we do create new products, new services that those can cost more money because we're always inventing and we're always creating because we want to always be helping our customers. And so in order to do that, we've got to be, very creative, and we've got to come up with a lot of amazing solutions, which we've done a lot of that as well. So in 2025, Troy and I, in 24, you've heard in the past podcast, we spent 2024 really beefing up the infrastructure, okay, of the company, right? We have now the capacity to handle a lot more. We already have thousands of customers in 33 countries around the world, but we are going to really, really do some amazing things and explode is what our goal is. And we have the capacity to handle it. And so now that we've spent 2024 doing that, Troy and I have dedicated that 3 days a week. We're creating a calendar for everything. 3 days a week, we personally are working on the business, like 100% on the business. The team knows it. They leave us alone. We've empowered them even more. There's a lot to what we're doing. So I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of an overview here, but we're going to be spending 3 days dedicated to working on the business, which is doing things like creating the videos and releasing those videos via email and via chat and text message and announcements in the dashboard and things like that, doing the stuff to let our customers know all about the amazing things and features that we have created for them and updated for them. And so we're actually in the process of creating our communication calendar, which is what your guys' homework is for this week. You need to create your communication calendar to start figuring out when and how you're going to communicate with your clients. And so we've been revamping everything the first few weeks of this year as far as our existing communication, so that we're not over communicating, making sure that we're not over communicating. And we found out that as we went through everything of how we were currently communicating, we don't feel like we're going to be over communicating at all, actually. And so we're going to be able to roll out all of these wonderful emails and text messages and notifications on all the cool upgrades that we've done and implemented for our customers, including new services and systems that are going to help their businesses absolutely explode this year with us, right? We're all going to grow together. And so that's what we're doing. We're actually, in fact, when we get off this podcast today, we're going to be going in to the conference room, and Troy and I are going to be continuing creating our calendar of communication. So that's what we want you guys to do this week, is figure out a calendar of communication. If you've never done that before, you absolutely need to. You need to be organized, and you need to understand how and when you are communicating with your clients. And probably a lot of you are going to say, well, I'm not really on a regular basis at all. Well, then there you go. That's what Troy was talking about with automation. Guess what? Troy and I create all of this, and then we let the systems do the work for us so that we don't have to sit and on the fly be continually making up the next text message, the next email, the next notification that's going to be going out. Okay. So that's really it. Anything else, Troy?
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to talk about was, again, we implemented this at the very beginning of the year. Trevor created a great email to send out to our clients because for our Sotellus clients, we rolled out a new feature at no cost to them, which is basically now if you have a Sotellus premium account and you get a new review, you can turn on where our AI will automatically respond to that review for you. And so we created that feature, no additional charge to our clients. And we're like, you know what? We need to announce this. And so Trevor created a great email with a video announcing that feature. And then he also put on there in that email, here's some additional features additional services that we offer at Sotellus that you may not know about. Yep. Sent out that email. And I want to say that very same day, I think we got 7 new sales. And then the very next day, we got 7 more sales, from existing customers that were like, I had no idea that you guys offered that, on top of what I'm getting through the Sotellus platform. And so this is not just about making sure that you keep your customers that you have, but it's about generating more sales, right, with those customers as well, because most likely you have multiple services that you can give or offer to a client. So again, we wanted to share that with you because we're using and implementing what we're teaching you, and it's generating revenue for us, and we know it's going to work for you. So Trevor, you went over the homework. Again, just you guys need to work on that communication calendar, and you need to start communicating this year. So anything else, Trevor?
If you need help with automation, if you need help with AI, give us a call. Hit us up. Let us know. Because we've got some amazing products now. We've got some amazing things. And again, you want to be able to set this up once and let it run. Okay. Just let it run and do its job. And guess what? It'll bring you more business. So, all right, guys, we love you. We appreciate you. 24 was huge for the channel, for the YouTube channel. I think I just got a notification the other day. We're over 650,000 views or watches now or whatever, something like that along those lines. And it's growing like crazy. And so obviously all the other places like Spotify and Apple and everything, we appreciate all of our listeners, whether you're watching us on YouTube, seeing our clips on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or if you're listening to us on things like Spotify or, podcast apps. So we love you. We appreciate you. And we will check you guys out on the next episode of Sotellus Time.